It's a weekly world update with Corey Sorkin and Katie Bruno.
Whoa, hi everyone, I'm Katie Bruno and welcome back to Weekly World Update after the most awesome of breaks. We have a lot of show for you tonight, but not a lot of time, so let's get started. So this may come as a surprise to all you muggles out there, but Daniel Radcliffe is the latest to speak about instances in which he came to work intoxicated. Yep, the innocent Harry Potter we have all grown to know and love may not be so innocent anymore. In a recent interview with a British magazine, Radcliffe says, "I drank a lot daily, even nightly." He also says he can point to many scenes where he is completely gone. When asked how Harry Potter killed Lord Voldemort, look who's drunk now, just kidding. He responded with, "Abracadabra." We are still awaiting the full report from our British news analysis, Pierce Weatherford, for some reason. For some reason, he's not responding to any phone calls. Very weird. Can you say NO to ED? Rates of sexually transmitted diseases have doubled among 50 to 90-year-olds in the past decade. Apparently, the elderly are not having trouble guiding/feeling their way into Granny's garden. According to an editorial published recently, an estimated 80% of 50 to 90-year-olds are sexually active. This activity has contributed to rises in cases of syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea among 45 to 64-year-olds in the U.S. and the U.K. Looks like teenagers aren't the only ones who should wear protection. Those videos in high school never showed any grannies putting in a diaphragm or any geezers rolling on one.
So how about this headline, Katie? A terminally ill professor is teaching his class end-of-life lessons. Finally! Has it really taken this long for teachers and professors to figure out the truly important stuff to teach us? I mean, knowing what x is and 2x plus 3 equals 10 is certainly not going to land us our dream job. Knowing how to make end-of-life decisions will always be important, unless a drug is released giving us life for eternity. In that case, we may need to know what x is equal to.
In international news, it seems like young Japanese men are turned off when it comes to sex. Studies show young males are apathetic about dating and disinterested in sex. One college student says, "It's not the guys I don't like, it's the women, but it's just easier and more fun to hang out with other guys." Another says, "If you want to date, you have to ask the guy out yourself." Boy, oh boy, what a difficult, time-consuming feat right there.
Isn't Japan the country that prefers male babies over female babies because they have the power to reproduce? I mean, I heard that if you produce a female offspring, the accuser gets castrated. Someone ought to check that out.
Well, apparently not. Japan is suddenly the home of assertive women and so-called grass-feeder men, sensitive, even asexual creatures, overshadowed by their female peers.
You know what? That's just a nice way of putting that women have us by the balls. The asexual part is definitely gay, though.
According to the Center of Disease Control, at least 50% of sexually active men and women will get infected with the human papillomavirus, or HPV, at some point in their life. It is now recommended for young boys and not only for young girls, to get the vaccine, except if you're a Japanese boy. If you're under that category, rates go way down, especially if you have no interest either way.
A recent update of Google Earth corrected a 3-year-old error showing a grid on the ocean floor resembling an underwater city. The image went on to spark conspiracy theories that the mythical city of Atlantis has yet been discovered. Turns out it was just an error, though, due to incomplete data of the ocean floor. There are no reports connecting Aquaman to the mistaken information, although some say that they have seen him come to the surface. Oh no, not come. It's impossible to come underwater. I know, I've tried.
Because it's February and there's usually snow outside, for this next segment, we created a subject on Twitter that asks what you would normally do if there were tons of feet of snow outside with the hashtag #TooMuchSnow. We got tons of tweets, and actually, in just a half hour, our subject was a trending topic. So thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is hashtag pound signs. Okay. So this tweet comes from Charlie Waffles 69, and he says, with snow would build igloo, put baby brother in it, then fake avalanche in to scare him. Whoops. Hashtag too much snow.
This next pound sign comes to us from @MapleLoop7878. He says, because of home fixing, snow would come pouring through broken fireplace. Gave me excuse to say that it was throwing up. Pound sign too much snow.
Corey, it's hashtag too much snow.
Pound sign too much snow.
This next one comes from @CharlieInBed69. She says, snow so high, once we needed to melt it, next thing I knew, snow was yellow. If you know what I mean. Smiley face. Hashtag too much snow.
And this one comes to us from @Chiropractor45. He says, was once put in igloo by older bro, then ate fluffy white stuff due to, quote, avalanche, still trying to get back at brother. Pound sign too much snow, right? Pound sign?
Hashtag.
Pound sign.
This next one comes to us from @RoTheStalker59. She says, was skiing in Paris with boyfriend, then pushed him off lift to see if he would last. He did. Guess I'll have to come up with something else. Hashtag too much snow.
And this one comes to us from @TheRealEstateWitch29. She says, probs like every guy I've been, I'd sled down it. Pound sign too much snow.
This next hashtag comes to us from @MelissaReception12. She says, too short to climb on top of it, so I'd build a giant tunnel, then scare people by popping out of the top. Hashtag too much snow.
This one comes to us from @BertaDon'tTestMe443. She says, with snow, I'd do my best dance move. I'd, quote, snow blow it. Haha, get it? Pound sign too much snow.
This one comes to us from @FeelingViolated89. He says, was delivering pizzas through heavy snow, tripped, face planted, then wound up and woke up at some guy's house in Malibu. This had to be fake. Hashtag too much snow.
And this last one comes to us from our very own @DanSchillitz. What a guy. He says, was imagining what it would be like to have snow in February, came up with this amazing idea for pound signs. Pound sign, too much snow.
Well, Dan, it's hashtags. Well, there you have it. Our newest weekly segment for Weekly World Update, hashtags.
And that's our show for tonight. I'm Corey Sorkin.
And I'm Katie Bruno. Have a great night.